Let's just do it. Oh, baby. We are live. It's Chatted Up Sports. It's Mike's Hole in the Wall.
Oh.
Producer Joseph with the man himself.
What's up, man?
Miggy, Malcolm. Some people might call him Mr. Harris. We are talking college football, NFL, everything happening this weekend. If you are tuned in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit like. Share it with everybody you know. Let's get the show out there. Welcome to Chatted Up Sports. Mr. Harris, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm great, man. I mean, we're Thursday night. Shout out to Mike's Hole in the Wall, one of the best establishments in the city.
A fine establishment.
Come on, I got some chicken wings because I'm a chicken wing connoisseur.
Absolutely. Incredible play.
Got a nice little IPA because, you know, I'm Mr. Indian Pale Ale.
Okay.
Water with lemon. We feeling good, man. And, of course, you see what's on me, right? This Hall of Fame quarterback by the name of Mr. Matt Ryan is inducted into the Falcons Ring of Honor tonight.
Oh,
it's
beautiful.
on, man.
Well, you look good. You said you feel good.
Yeah.
Let's hope your boys play good.
Oh, we about to play good, sir.
It is Kirktober, baby.
Ooh.
And we got to see something from the Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a good chance for them to take over as the best team in the NFC South.
Oh, yeah. It's
real quick, the game's about to start. Give me 3 keys to success for the Falcons tonight.
3 keys tonight. Number 1, play defense. All right, defensive line, got to get penetration in the trenches. Number 2, create chaos.
Okay.
And I'm talking turnovers. Baker Mayfield is still Baker Mayfield.
Get him a little rattled.
He's still on his 4th team. He's going to have to play a perfect game tonight. And last but not least, I need to see Kyle Pitts be what I think he is.
Do something,
Tonight
right?
is a Kyle Pitts night. I expect him to come through and make it happen for the boys in red and black.
Hopefully he can. I'm going to be honest with you. Tonight was going to be a night where I thought, I'm going to fade Kyle Pitts until he proves me wrong. And then I checked his over-under receiving stats. You know what they were at?
What is that?
29. 29 and a hook, I believe. So 29 and a half over-under.
Don't ever disrespect my boy, man.
I mean, I thought, and I look back in his past few receiving yards, he's came close in week 2, eclipsed it in week 3 and week 1. So I thought, you know, maybe they're just setting the bar real low for Kyle Pitts this week.
Kyle Pitts is due for a breakout game.
It's about time, right?
I'm telling you, he is due for a breakout game. He's fully healthy. I think the world of this guy. I think he's going to make it happen. He's going to be going to often and early tonight. But on the other side, you're playing another Hall of Famer too. Mike Evans always is the upper echelon of wide receiver play. I think he's going to have a great game and a rookie to watch out for. Mr. Bucky, and I'm not talking the gas station. Bucky Irvin is really like that.
Talk to him. The boy from Oregon, baby.
Oh, my God.
He's got it, man. He's got it.
I think he's going to have a nice little matchup tonight. It's a good Thursday night game, one of the best of the year.
It's definitely the best so far. So we'll see how it plays out. Expecting big things in Atlanta. But that's our little preview of the Thursday night game before it happens. Let's get into what I would consider the meat and potatoes of the weekend.
Oh, we love the meat and potatoes.
It's week 6 of college football.
Already.
It doesn't feel like it should be week 6, but here we are. We're already in week 6. Of course, you know it, like we always do. We have 4 games that we're going to break down a little bit more, and we'll give you our picks for. But, Mr. Harris.
Talk to me.
You got any games you got an eye on outside of the core 4 this weekend?
I mean, when I have to look overall, and I'm really thinking about it, I want to see Cam Ward at night.
Yeah?
I want to see, all right, like Virginia Tech had you rattled a little bit. Cal, I know is not that good of a team, but also they've been in some games. I want to see is Cam Ward for real, and is he going to be able to put together another magical performance really late at 10:30? That's
10:30 Eastern.
10:30. So I'm looking for Miami tonight.
You're not going to have the eyes of the nation on you. So how will you perform? I think it's a critical, like a gut check moment for Cam.
For sure.
Because you're just coming off a game where you didn't play super well. Yep. You know, obviously the controversial call at the end, everybody has their own opinions about that. But this is really I don't want to say a get-right week for Miami, but you want to see him come out and play the way they played the first 3 weeks. Really just stick it to Cal and assert dominance early and be like, hey, you know, we are the Miami that we've been pitching to people that we are. We're not just made up. We're not going to be the Miami of old where we start fast and then we come out and we fall apart. So I think it's a real gut check moment.
It is
for Mario Cristobal's team.
And I think that they will rise to the occasion. I mean, the offense is still dynamic. I think defensively they're playing great. Another game that I'm really, really looking forward to is, well, I love a good rivalry.
Oh, yeah?
I do. And the team on your shirt,
yes.
I want to see how they respond.
That makes two of us. So a little bit of when it comes to the Deep South Oldest rivalry, this is it has been recently, a tale of two locations, okay?
What do you mean by that?
And what I mean by that is that this game over the past 15 years has been completely different depending on where it's been played.
Yeah.
So to go back to the last time Auburn beat Georgia in Athens, 2005. 2005. The last 3 wins that Auburn has have all come at Auburn. And if you'll look at the history of this game and you'll look at the average margin of victory, it's significantly different when it's played in Athens versus when it's played in Auburn over the last 15 years.
Absolutely.
Georgia has absolutely rolled in Athens more often than not, and they struggle for wins or lose when the game's played in Auburn.
Absolutely.
There's some voodoo. I'll bring out my fandom for a second. There is some voodoo on that stadium.
Oh, Jordan O'Hare?
When two teams, the miracle at Jordan-Hare, the kick six, all within a 3-week span. There is voodoo on that place when it comes to being Georgia or Alabama playing in Auburn, and that voodoo completely disappears when they go to Tuscaloosa and when they go to Athens, because this game, the past few times they've been, has not been close in the slightest.
I do want to let you know, Kyle Pitts just went his over already.
On one play?
On one play. I'm going to let you watch it. We talk about voodoo. It just happened. Kyle Pitts wide open down the seam for a good 30.
Okay,
so
I'm glad I didn't take the under on that, because I wanted to. I really wanted to.
But getting back to Auburn,
yes,
as we have a guy who's sitting here. He's like a relief pitcher, and he's going to come in like a thief in the night. I'm trying to tee him up and intro him, but he's talking, so it's okay.
He's distracted,
but he's going to be here in a moment.
He'll be here in a moment.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
but
it will.
When it comes to overall, just looking at Auburn, is there anybody that scares you?
Jarquez Hunter.
Yeah?
Jarquez Hunter.
Do you think he's going to have a Ryan Williams type of impact?
No, because I don't think Auburn's line can handle the athleticism on Georgia's front seven good enough to really get Jarquez Hunter rolling. I think if they're going to get him rolling, it's got to be in some creative ways. Yeah. Obviously, I think Cam Coleman is going to be incredible.
He's an issue, bro.
He is. He's going to be a problem. But after just seeing Ryan Williams, I think the boys will be ready. If this game was in Auburn, I would be a lot more worried. Yeah. I'd be a lot more sketchy. But because it's in Athens and it's Georgia coming off a absolutely heartbreaking loss, I think the boys will roll. Now they will be. This is significant. Georgia will be without starting linebacker Smile Munden. He's out.
Oh, he is out for sure?
He's out for the game.
I heard he was questionable, but
he was listed on the official injury report as out. Okay. I do not know why.
Okay.
I don't know what the cause is. I don't know what the injury is, but he will not play in the game.
Okay.
So they'll have to find somebody. They'll have to have somebody step up.
Nice.
Probably Raylan Wilson or Jalen Walker will step in and take that role. But I don't know. I don't really see Georgia having any problems with Auburn this week. Sure. I know Hugh Freeze likes to get creative.
And he always plays up. You notice that?
He does.
Hugh Freeze always plays up to his competition, even at its time at Ole Miss. And, of course, even at Liberty just a few years ago. I mean, he really always takes that step up to his competition. Yeah. So I think he's going to give Georgia all they can handle. But Kirby Smart in the locker room at the end of the Alabama game said, you guys battled, and you made so many moments, and you just didn't have one more moment.
One more moment, man. One more moment.
And I know that hurt those guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I know it did. I know when you look at those guys, like, I know that it really hurt them. So I'm excited about tonight as we have a Falcons touchdown by Drake London.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, my goodness.
Getting on the board early for the fantasy team.
Oh, yeah. We love to see it.
But, no, I agree with you. I think this will be one of those games where a lot of people have talked about Georgia not starting fast. I think they'll start fast.
Yeah.
I think they'll come out slinging it. They kind of did in the Bama game, and there were opportunities, just drop passes. And I think if you correct that this week, you kind of get out to a lead early, and it just kind of gets out of hand.
Can we talk about Dylan Bell? Just briefly.
Our own Deebo Samuel.
That guy's a stud, man.
He is, man.
That guy's a real ball player.
I think a lot of people were expecting him to take another step this year that maybe just hasn't happened. I think it's there, and I think he got some of his confidence back in the comeback of the Bama game.
Absolutely.
So I think you'll see the best of Dylan Bell going forward. Another guy I really want to see, and this is probably for the Georgia homers, Anthony Evans, man.
Yeah.
Number 5. He's normally the punt returner.
Right here.
He
oh, no, you're good. You're good. We're live like 1995. I appreciate you, brother. Oh, no, you're good.
You're good, brother. You're good.
Thank you so much, man.
And I really want to see Trevor Etienne just get fed.
What's been up with him?
I don't know. I don't know if they've just not wrote him into the game plan. Oh, what's up, Greg? Speaking of written into the game plan.
Boom.
Welcome, brother.
Hello.
I just don't know if they've not written him into the game plan enough, or if maybe just they've had some, with Tate Ratledge going down, the O-line's been kind of, I don't want to say bad, but they haven't been playing up to what you kind of expected preseason.
Less than stellar.
So they haven't been the Georgia line that you would expect.
No, not at all.
So I think that kind of contributes to it as well. But I don't know. I'm thinking Dylan and Trevor will have a big game this Saturday.
I agree. I think it's going to be some fireworks that we see. I really do.
You can.
Are there any other games that you're looking at on this slate this weekend that you're just like, wow, oh my goodness?
So,
and by the way, these wings,
they
smell immaculate.
Dude,
I mean, Mike's hole in the wall.
When he set them down, I was like, oh, man.
Wow. So as you look for that game, I'm going to have to take a bite.
Oh, okay.
Just
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll
trying to show
for a little bit. So a game I'm looking out for that I think could be, I guess, have big playoff impact that you might not think about it. SMU is taking on Louisville this weekend. And now that Florida State's just faded into the abyss in terms of ACC championship odds, not to just continually dog on Florida State because they've had it rough enough. We need to give them a break.
That's okay.
SMU and Louisville is a very interesting game this weekend because one of those teams is going to separate themselves in terms of the ACC title race and put themselves in the running with Clemson and Miami as the way it currently stands. And I don't think a lot of people expect – I mean, some people might have been on the SMU train. I thought maybe they'd be fun to watch. I didn't expect them to actually be competing for the ACC, but it looks like if they can go into Louisville and get a win, they're right there. They're on that train with Clemson and Miami heading to Charlotte for the ACC title game.
Two very exciting teams, honestly, with Louisville and SMU. I remember when we were doing our college football preview, we were kind of talking about both of those teams that could be sleepers this year as teams to kind of watch out for. They could be kind of exciting teams, and you're right, SMU has just been really good, has been that team. Now, if Louisville would have beat Notre Dame, which they certainly could have,
they could have. They very well could have.
Conversation as well.
Yep. They very well could have. So, I don't know. I'm thinking. I know what this game isn't a core four, so we don't really have to give winners. But I'm leaning Louisville in this game. Okay. I just think the way Tyler Shuck's been playing, they're due for one. Jeff Brom's going to get the boys right after the loss to Notre Dame, and I feel like they're going to come out with something to prove. So, but another sleeper game.
There was another game on there
through the list
here. I put it on the dock. It was Syracuse
and UNLV. Yes. Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting game, especially after the whole Matthew Slucka situation.
Yeah.
If UNLV comes out and balls, I mean, that's just looking worse for Slucka and his market value. Yeah. And I mean, UNLV's like, well, we didn't really need.
You hear that chirp in the locker room, I'm sure, after last week. So it's just like, all right, like, NIL and guys sitting out, like, I think this is the last week you can do that, or is it up to 4 games that you have to play?
4 games. So you can play in 4 games before you can redshirt.
Yep.
UCF just had a player. His name's escaped me. But UCF just had a player today that caught a touchdown against Colorado last weekend. He's a receiver. Just decided, hey, I'm out, guys. I'm going to redshirt.
He's opted out.
And I'm done. So his name has escaped me, but.
Is that good or bad for the sport?
Xavier Townsend?
I think it's bad. Xavier Townsend, yep.
Okay.
I think it's bad for the sport. And I think it's bad for players. because I think it gives a real selfish attitude. Now, it's also, like, specifically addressing the Slucka situation. That's one of those things where, to me, I don't think it's a good look for either party. Because if you are UNLV and you promise this guy this money, even if if he didn't get into writing from a legal standpoint, I don't know what you can do because you didn't get a officially signed contract that said, hey, we're going to pay you this money.
Yep. But
if you promise a kid that kind of money and then you just don't deliver, what kind of precedent are you setting for future kids that you're like, hey, we'll pay you to come play? Like you're a fringe D1 guy, fringe Power 4 guy, come play for us, get your draft stock up, maybe go back. And then you're just like, you don't pay him. What is that going to set for other players that you try to attract? So
I mean, I see your perspective. I really do. But there's a huge difference between $100,000 and $3,000.
Yeah.
If that happened
huge,
to me,
massive,
I'm out.
Massive.
I'm out.
Well, what happened was the offensive coordinator was the one who offered him the $100,000.
Yeah.
It wasn't the head coach. Like, if I'm the head coach, I'm not mad at the kid. I'm mad at my offensive coordinator. Like,
agreed.
I got to show you at the door of, like, what are you doing? Why would you offer this guy something we can't physically give him?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm less mad at the kid and more mad at the offensive coordinator and the coaching staff for not being on the same page.
And I think this is more on – because Slucka has an agent.
Yes.
I mean, if you didn't get that in writing, that's on your agent.
Yeah.
Because that's why you hire him. That's why you have him, to navigate these battles, navigate these areas for you. Because you just want to play football. You're just like, I just want to play football, and I want to get taken care of financially because I can do that now. You handle that realm, I'll handle my realm, and we go. Yeah. And it looks like if your agent just came up short, that's not good for either.
Absolutely.
It's a business now with NIL.
It is.
Money.
It's a business now.
But it's something like NFL Light.
It's been a business, though. It's been a business. I think it's just been underground.
Well, under the table.
It's been under the table.
Yeah,
it's been underground. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, now it's
McDonald's
official.
Bags and all of that good stuff,
So while we're still on the topic of games we're looking out for this weekend, I know a lot of people will probably not agree with me on this, but I'm very interested to see Ohio State play Iowa. Because I think for most of this season, Ohio State has kind of slid under the radar because they've been not really playing the best of competition. I know they played Michigan State last weekend, but Michigan they're in a rebuilding phase, new head coach, brand new quarterback. I'm really interested to see Will Howard come out and sling it. Yeah. Like, I want to see them against, I don't want to say equal competition, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to say that Iowa's definitely better than Michigan State.
I mean, all I know is that Ohio State's one of, if not the best roster in college football.
They are, on paper, they are one of the best rosters in college football.
So I think their first test is going to come, what is that, October 12th? Is that next weekend?
Oregon. No, so they'll play Iowa this weekend, and then Autzen Stadium. They're heading to Autzen Stadium to play Oregon.
I truly do think their mind is elsewhere. So I think Iowa, and we remember, history has a way of repeating itself. They overlooked Iowa a couple years ago.
2017.
And they got
55-24 or something like that.
Absolutely pummeled. It's one of the most upset, lopsided underdog kind of games from a team in recent memory. So hopefully Ohio State, they come prepared and they take care of business and handle what they have to do. So
I hope so, because this will probably be the first time I think most of the country gets eyes on Ohio State.
Yeah,
because I think obviously Ohio State fans are finding ways to watch their game.
Yeah,
I'm not going to search out Peacock to watch Ohio State stomp a mud hole in Michigan State.
I haven't seen Ohio State play one time this year.
I've seen highlights.
I've seen highlights as well.
I've seen I've seen highlights of Emeka Ibuka, and I've seen highlights of Jeremiah Smith, and I've seen highlights of Quinshon Junkins and Travion Henderson. But I really want to see them play. I really want to see them face. You look up in the third quarter, and it's guys, we're in a dogfight with Iowa. It's 20-9. I know that's not exactly close for Iowa in their offense, but it's the closest game Ohio State would have played this season.
Absolutely.
So I want to see how they handle competition.
I do want to see Will Howard facing adversity.
Yeah.
I
want to see Will Howard have to sling it.
Yeah. Because that still hasn't happened. It's really handoff and handoff. That's so bad for
and screens.
Yeah, a lot of short stuff.
Little bubble screen. Emeka Ibuka blocks. Jeremiah Smith takes it 75 yards. I want to see some pressure on Will Howard to have to make a tight window throw.
This youth movement is crazy that we're seeing in college football, specifically with star position guys.
Oh yeah.
sometimes, and I think this is like a benefit of the new college football day and age, is that when you're paying players outwardly, you're going to play them because, hey, like, you got some money to be here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we're seeing it with Ryan Williams and, now Jeremiah Smith and others as well.
Oh, well, boys, one more game before we move on to the core four.
Okay.
Have y'all given any thoughts to Michigan traveling out to Washington as a dog, as a 2-point dog?
I mean, I have, and I think that Michigan, they do two things extremely well. They play defense and they run the football.
That's about all they can do.
Those are success things to do for winning football.
And no, we talked about Alex Orji and getting the opportunity to start. He really doesn't have to do much, and that's the way Michigan should be running their offense.
Yeah, that's what you are.
Yeah.
That's your identity this year.
Play defense, run the football.
Yep, own up to it. Like,
Lean into it as much as you could possibly lean into it.
Put pressure on Will Rogers to make throws. Like, I don't know. It's really interesting that I didn't expect them to be a dog. I know that game's at Washington, but I did not expect them to be an underdog, especially after Washington's coming off losing to Rutgers. I know that game was at Rutgers, and it's literally probably as far as you can travel across the country for a college football game between Washington and New Jersey.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I wonder how that affects Washington coming back, and it'll be nice to be at home for them. But
is that fair though?
Is it fair?
It's traveling.
I mean, look at USC. USC had Wisconsin. They traveled to Michigan. They're traveling to Minnesota this week. Like, they went to Michigan, back home to LA. Now they're going to Minnesota.
I think you're going to see some changes in that moving forward.
It's
as a student athlete, we can't forget what they are, which is a student.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why they're there.
18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
Some 25, 26.
Yeah, occasionally you'll have the adults, hey, go get a job,
adults.
dog.
Shout out to my man in Miami, ninth year.
Yeah, McCormick.
Yep.
Ninth year, senior.
Bro, go on LinkedIn, man. So
start applying for jobs, man.
Enterprise
go
will
sell
pick
some
you
insurance.
Up, come on, man.
Well, either way, it's gonna be a great weekend of games. I'm really excited. There's a lot I have on the slate, but let's get to our core four, and there's no better place to start than with the hometown team. Tennessee is traveling to Arkansas.
Yeah,
and they're the 7:30 primetime game. What are your initial thoughts? What do you want to see? Are you guys worried at all about this game?
Yeah, I am.
You are.
I am, absolutely. I think that Arkansas, I know the guy that is calling the plays there. Sam Pittman is absolutely impeccable as a play caller in what he does. So I think we just got a nice little parlay cash somewhere.
I think that boy just cashed a touchdown.
Drake London and Mike Evans is a nice little parlay cash. Congratulations. But no, Sam Pittman is an awesome coach, man.
He is.
And specifically, his teams are always disciplined. They're always physical, specifically on the offensive line. I think we have a great defensive line, but, Sam Pittman's going to come ready.
Yeah.
I will say 2 players on Tennessee's team that have been on milk cartons because they're missing need to show up. Okay. One on each side of the ball.
Go for it.
First one's going to be James Pierce. I'm just going to come right out and say it. He's been the 3rd best defender on Tennessee's team this year.
Third best? That's
3rd
it?
best.
Does that not?
He's been like the worst.
No, he hasn't been the worst.
He's been terrible.
He has not been terrible.
He's been a ghost.
I think for what he was supposed to be,
he is not the
he's
worst
been a
third best
ghost.
defender.
He's been the 3rd best defender.
So hear me out on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Hear me out on this, because and maybe I'm wrong, but it might be a little bit of a reach. But doesn't that give you some kind of confidence?
Yes.
Because it's like, that if the defense is showing up without this guy, the game that he does show up should take you to that next level.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, he is, put out an APB for James Pierce, but he's still on the field. Like, he's still playing ball.
He is. And the next 30 days for Tennessee football, if this Tennessee football team goes at least 3-1, we are guaranteed a top 8 finish in the college football playoff. I am okay with that. Regardless on how it ends up, 3-1 in these next 4 games, you're going to be a happy Tennessee fan.
Understandable.
I will say, on the offensive side of the ball, I'm eating some chicken wings right now. But, sometimes I like a little squirrel meat, man. Like a little squirrel.
A little squirrel, yeah.
Like a little squirrel jerky. Where's Squirrel White, man?
He's there.
I don't know.
He's there, but
he's on the field. He's on the field.
But
he's
there,
running
but he ain't
routes.
there.
It's concerning that he's regressed with a better quarterback.
Well, also think about this. There's more options there now. He's getting a little bit lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of.
I was about to say, I don't think it's necessarily a regression, but I mean, there is the total possibility that Squirrel and Nico don't have the same chemistry that Joe and Squirrel had, or that Hendon and Squirrel had. So, not necessarily that he's regressed, but he just might not have Nico might not have the same feel that he has with other receivers. So, but I think it's good to know that he's there if you need it.
Yeah, I mean, because there's clearly a bona fide one right now at Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's Dante Thornton. I mean, it's done. It's his job. Yeah. I love Brew McCoy.
I'll say him and Brew.
I mean, Brew is a 1A, but I think Nico looks for Dante first. I really do.
I think there's going to be a squirrel game somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
Where he's just going to go nuts. He's going to catch one or two long passes, one for a touchdown potentially. We've seen Nico be much more proficient on those deep balls. I think he's going to catch one. It might be this week. It might be this week against Arkansas. And you were talking about it, Megan. I know I'll let you get back to talking about it. But I'm not as worried as Miggy is.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that Tennessee's going to blow them out. They'll win, but they're not going to blow them out. It's not going to be like an NC State game.
As a totally unbiased fan, I don't think you have anything to worry about. I'm kind of with Greg. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Well, at least in the terms of like 50 to whatever.
Could be like a 10, 12 point game.
I'm thinking like, I was thinking more like 38, 38-17, 38-20, somewhere in that range.
To me, that sounds sort of like a blowout.
Well, the thing about it is that Taylor Green has, and shout out to Brooks Austin for this coining this term. Taylor Green has this thing that he likes to do. It's called playing hospital ball. And what he does is he's reckless with his body. And this is not the defense that you want to do that against.
Not at all.
This is not a front seven that you want to be reckless against. So I think maybe the game could be close initially, but the score could reflect and look like a blowout, even though maybe it's a late turnover, a late fumble from Taylor Green, ends up being a recovery. They run a scoop and score, something like that. It kind of elevates the game to be like, well, this looks like a blowout if you're looking at the box score. But if you watch the game, maybe it wasn't.
Absolutely.
This is definitely not the defense that Taylor Green wants to do that against.
It's not.
It's not.
And I do think that Taylor Green is talented. He's very mobile.
He is very talented.
And he can put the ball where it needs
reckless.
to go. He's reckless, though.
A little reckless.
He is reckless. I like Arkansas and what they've been able to do. They've been competitive in a lot of games. I do think that this will be the first game in a while that outside of Oklahoma, Nico's going to play all four quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be in there. But I think it's going to be a 49 – I think 49-28.
Something like that.
But I do think Arkansas gets up early. I do.
Really?
I think it's going to be an interesting first half.
I mean, we're looking at a team in Arkansas that very well could be undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, you somehow, some way lost the game to Oklahoma State in probably what has definitely been like the weirdest ending to a game.
Absolutely.
And then you very well were in that game against Texas A&M.
Absolutely.
So we're looking at a team that very well could have been, but they're not. Could have been 5-0. So they've got some talent and they can make some plays, but I think in the end, I think Tennessee will just be too much.
Yeah, Bobby Petrino has really been doing a good job with the offense there, kind of breathing new life into it as well. I know you guys were talking about the quarterback there in Taylor Green, and the defense is tied with Tennessee for the lead in the SEC with takeaways. So if Nico were to turn the football over, if the offensive line is not as good as we've seen it be, that could be an issue. He's fumbled a couple of times, like he did against Oklahoma a couple of times. That the turnovers could be the great equalizer. That's why I think it's going to be a little bit closer. I'm going to say like 35-20.
That's good. That's still a good score. Yeah. Can I give you guys a little nugget about this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I love nuggets.
So, can you guess when the last time the Razorbacks defeated a top 5 team was?
What year? What year? 1986.
Tell me the question one more time. I'm sorry.
When was the last time Arkansas beat a top 5 team? At home. Sorry, at home.
2009.
I said 1986.
1999.
Oh, wow.
You know who that team was?
Tennessee.
It was number
It's Tennessee.
3, Tennessee.
It's Tennessee.
28-24.
It's Tennessee.
Damn.
Just something to let sit in the back of your mind a little bit. You know,
love that.
something to kind of meditate on a little bit. I still don't think, as an unbiased party in this game, I still don't think you have anything to worry about, personally.
So we're all, for this game, going Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. I think we're
Yeah.
all on Tennessee.
I think we're all on Tennessee.
Good deal.
Moving on to our next Core 4 game of the week. Boys, the Missouri Tigers, the top 10 ranked Missouri Tigers, travel to Kyle Field to play the Texas A&M Aggies. What are you thinking? Texas A&M is currently a 2.5-point favorite.
I was going to say, I think this is the week that Missouri gets knocked off.
You think so?
Yeah. They've been close a couple of times. They've had some close calls. Texas A&M has been playing some better football since losing to Notre Dame.
They have.
To me, this is the time in which Missouri, on the road, right? They're at Texas A&M.
They're at Texas A&M.
They're going to go to College Station. They're going to lose it decently. But I'm talking like, I kind of want to say like 30 to 20, something along those lines.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think Texas A&M handles them decently well.
Speaking of Texas A&M playing better football, we can all agree that they've been playing better football because Marcel Reed's been under center. He's been taking snaps. He's been quarterback. He's been driving the offense.
How dynamic has he been, man?
He's been fantastic.
Much better.
But what if I tell you guys that Connor Wegman is listed as the starter for this Saturday?
Can you play two
Not-
quarterbacks?
Are you for real?
He is. Connor Wegman is listed as the starter for this Saturday.
That's coaching malpractice to me.
I don't understand why. I don't know.
Maybe this is gamesmanship.
I mean, it could be. It very well could be Mike Elko giving a little bit of a, hey, look left, we're going right.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. I don't know. And, of course, we don't see practice. We don't see them throughout the week. We don't see these players, so we don't know what's happening in the practice. But I don't know any reason why, after watching what Marcel Reed has done, you would start Connor Wegman.
I mean, I don't need to see practice when I see real live game
See what they do in games.
action. Like, come on.
And I know there's the famous you can't lose your job to injuries.
Yeah.
But maybe you should.
I think you can.
Maybe you should.
I think if your team's not prepared, right, and they look not prepared, that's when you can lose your job. So
something to watch in this game. Early on, if Connor Wegman does come out and get the start, look at the body language of the players, because they'll tell you.
Bro.
They'll tell you who they want to be the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
A good example of this was last year when Bama went to USF, and you watched Ty Simpson roll out there because Jalen Miller got benched. Look at the body language of the players, because they'll tell you who they have confidence in, who they believe in. I think you could see that if Texas A&M does decide to roll out Connor Wegman this Saturday, the players might be like, Coach, come on, man.
Come on, bro.
Like,
come on, man.
We all see it. You've seen it. How have you not seen it? Like,
I think you get
Marcel
some
Reed
boo
should
birds
be the
as
guy.
well.
Do what?
I think you get some boo birds as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially if they come out and Connor Wegman looks like Connor Wegman has, and you don't move the ball. And especially if Missouri's up early, that stadium's going to be
problem.
That stadium's going to be turning real quick on the Aggies.
I think this is going to be a great game. I really do. I know it's cliche, but I mean, the best player on the field is going to do what the best player on the field does.
Yeah.
It's Luther Burden. I think he is, to me, I'll say it, he's the best receiver in the country. I mean,
over Travis?
I say pure receiver. I mean,
Okay.
I think Travis is the best athlete.
Okay.
I think he's the best player.
You think he's better than Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith?
Today, at this very moment, on October
on
3rd,
6.
at 8, whatever, yeah. I think in
8:46.
I think in 6 weeks, that conversation might be different.
That conversation
Because these boys might grow.
Yeah.
They might eat another burger, might drink another protein shake, go to another level.
Or a
But,
different beverage.
yeah.
And go the other way.
Yeah, they could go the other way. I will say, though, Mizzou, we love a good story, and Eli Drinkowitz and his program, but time has a way of striking midnight. Mizzou is on the clock. They could be 2-2 right now.
Yep.
Easily.
Oh, yeah.
I think they dropped this from the Texas A&M.
Interesting. So you boys are both on A&M.
Yeah.
We're on A&M.
On 'em.
All right.
All over them, like wet-out rice.
Here comes the boy out of left field.
Uh-oh.
So I'm rolling with the Tigers.
Level us.
I'm rolling with the Tigers
Level
on this
us.
game because looking at the Vanderbilt game and watching the way that Vanderbilt played Missouri, I think they played that game weird because I think that's what Vanderbilt has to do with Diego Pavia. And if I have to trust anybody, I got to trust, like you said, Malcolm, the best player on the field. And his name is Luther Burden.
I mean, he's so dynamic, bro.
He is going to be the best player on the field. And I think this might be the week that the Missouri offense finally puts it together. Nate Noel has looked fantastic.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
about probably been the only shining part of that offense so far. I'm going to roll with the Tigers on the upset, man. Give me Missouri to go into Kyle Field and break Aggie hearts. And that midnight yell is going to be a bunch of tears. I'm rolling with the alpha nerd and Luther Burden. Give me the Tigers,
Eli
baby.
Drinkowitz.
It feels weird because I'm looking at that line.
It's going to be a weird game, man.
Plus 2.5. Mizzou is not favored, I don't think.
No, they're not. They're a dog. They're a dog at home.
That's weird.
It is weird.
So I think the public is going to be on that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of people that are on A&M. It kind of feels like last week with the Bama game. The general consensus was on Bama.
Yeah.
It feels like from what I've seen, the general consensus is like, yeah, A&M's going to win this game. Yeah. And I just, Luther Burden on a deep ball towards the end of the game. 28-20 Missouri.
I mean, it's going to be energy, just like there's energy here at Mike's Hole in the Wall. Shout out to Mike's, man.
Shout out
us again.
Mike's, man.
Say that one more time.
Having us again.
Oh, yeah.
Back
Appreciate
again.
it. Good to be back.
And you know what? We got nice weather still. Like, this is what I love about the South in Tennessee is that we're into October and it's still nice weather out. It doesn't seem like the nice weather is going to dissipate anytime soon.
Oh, no, man. We'll have this probably into early November, maybe even mid-November. You'll have some days where it creeps up into like maybe around 70 degrees. It's incredible.
It's good for us.
It's incredible. So, all right. So, just to recap, we're all on Tennessee for the first game.
Yes,
Tennessee
sir.
beating Arkansas. Second game, we got 2 for A&M, and your boy, the Lone Wolf on Missouri. Lone Wolf, man. Somebody's got to hold it down for the Tigers. I'll be that guy.
We love to see him, man.
So let's move on to what is probably going to be a weird game.
Oh,
The
Lord.
Gus Bus and the UCF Knights are rolling into Gainesville to take on Florida and Billy Napier. Do we have any early feels? Do we have any early leans? I know UCF is just a small favorite in this game, 2.5. What are you boys thinking? How do you feel about the Gus Bus coming off a big loss
Against your Colorado
to your
Buffaloes.
Colorado
My
Buffaloes?
Colorado Buffaloes.
Looking to take on the dual
Shout out to
quarterback
Shador.
system in Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway.
There's no way that UCF loses back-to-back weeks, right? I think they're a really talented team. Give me the Florida Gators in an upset. I think Billy Napier, again, is fighting for his job. I think he knows this is possibly
Somebody knock our
I think we lost our cable.
I think we lost a little cable. It's all right.
They probably should be able to hear us still.
They probably
So,
still hear us. Which is all good.
IT is on it. Joseph is on it.
Joseph is in position, getting us ready. Some great Falcons football on. But no, I think that,
Did we have a Young Wei Koo miss kick?
twice. He missed it twice.
no.
We're back.
No, we're not. We had it and we lost it.
Battery's out. So, stall for a second.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, they can still hear us, so that should be
we
fine.
can definitely
Hang
solve.
with us. Joseph's getting a new battery, and we're gonna get us back up and running.
How was your day?
It was a long day.
Yeah?
Yeah, long day. Had a softball game, as you saw before the camera went out. I'm in all my Chattanooga softball gear. I did not bring a backup outfit, so I said, "Hey, we're gonna go represent the city."
Shout out to the Mocs.
The Mocs. It wasn't the prettiest game, but we found a way to win.
Oh, good. That's all you have to do.
It's the first game of the year.
Oh, beautiful.
In the fall. First time we're facing another team, a good team in Chattanooga State, actually, for the city.
Shout out to Chattanooga State.
Yeah. So, look, it was kind of a tough game. We were neck and neck there for a while, and honestly, shout out to some of our freshmen. Some of our freshmen got some big hits in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any specific shout outs? Anybody just over the moon?
No, nobody was over the moon. It was just like kind of a collective effort of like not being scared of the moment and kind of going after it and making some good contact with the ball. Again, you can tell it's early on in the season. Everybody's trying to shake off the rust from last year and get back into it, seeing live pitching and doing those things. So it was sort of an interesting game. We kind of got our feet wet a little bit. Our pitching looked fantastic.
Oh, love that.
Happy with the pitching.
Love that.
Yeah. Very happy with the pitching.
There is, a couple more home games for the Mocs coming up for football. Going to play Wofford here in a few weeks.
Okay.
So that's exciting. And I think we may be able to go out to that. Got a little connection.
To that game?
Yeah.
I mean, we could make it happen.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting.
You know what I'd love to do?
Yeah,
I'd love to get up to Tennessee in Knoxville and go do a show from up there.
That's going to be exciting.
That would be amazing. Can you imagine we went up there, Tennessee, Alabama?
Oh, yeah.
Jam was here, my roommate. Shout out to Jam, Chase, and Rebecca.
Yeah.
Showing love here at Mike's Hole in the Wall.
We love Jamarius Julius. He's a great guy.
He is a fantastic human being.
Yeah. Got a good atmosphere out here tonight.
It is. I mean, look, we got Falcons football on Thursday Night Football.
We got a Hall of Fame quarterback being inducted into the Ring of Honor this evening.
Isn't that right?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. That's why I had to have it on my body.
Of course.
Had to have it on
the
my
Hall
body.
of Famer.
So.
The soon-to-be Hall of Famer.
Yeah. 100%.
So the people are out here because obviously there's a lot of Falcon fans going on in the building. I see everybody checking their bets and doing those things. Oh, we're back.
Back like we never left.
Joseph. Attaboy.
I gotta plug it up.
Okay.
I charged these at work, but
hey, sometimes that's how it happens.
They're already
running through that juice. Hey, live shows. Sometimes it's how it works. You know?
Lives are beautiful. Though.
Yeah.
It's a chance to do our thing. And wow.
Oof. I will just give a quick score update. Mets and Brewers, NL wild card game. If I look a little distracted on the camera, this is why. My life is on the line. My baseball life, my baseball season is on the line right now, and it's nothing going to the top of the seventh here. So I am literally on pins and needles right now. So if y'all see me a little bit distracted right now, you know why, because the Mets are in a nail biter right now with their season hanging in the balance, and Pete Alonso finally being able to lay off a slider low and away is a beautiful thing. I would love for him to just get a cookie right here and just deposit it in the left field seats. That would be amazing.
Well, boys.
Yes, sir.
It seems
heartbeat.
It seems my charging setup that I had at work today didn't do the most for us. So we're only about 33% battery. So we can let Greg sweat the Mets off camera. Let's go ahead and run through these last two core four games, get them done, and then we'll move on.
Let's do it.
UCF and Florida, real quick. Did you guys already make your picks? You picked Florida.
I picked Florida, man. I think they're going to do well. I overall think it's going to be a shootout. Zero defense will be played.
Yep.
I do expect DJ Lagway to make an appearance in this game.
I agree. Agreed.
I do. That's my pick.
Agreed. I'm with you. I'm going to take the Florida Gators. I think DJ this week will probably solidify himself as the full-time starter. I don't think it's a good look for UCF that they just lost a receiver to a red shirt. And it's really not a good look that you just got blown out at home by Colorado. So I'm going to roll the Gators to upset UCF in Gainesville.
I wish we had my boy Billy on the table with us right now with the bobblehead action, but unfortunately he's not here. I still got to pick him, though, because his job's on the line. They're coming off of a bye. They should be ready to roll for this game. I know UCF just got their ass whooped by your Colorado Buffalo, so they're not happy. But Florida should be well rested and ready to rock and roll for this game. It is at home, correct?
It is at Florida.
It is at Florida. I know UCF isn't that far away, but still, I'm going to take the Florida Gators at home, ready to rock and roll coming up on a bye week. Billy Napier's going to have them ready to roll. And again, they need this one. I know UCF and Chase Green, our boy who's been listening and paying attention to the show. Shout out to CG and GT if they're watching and paying attention. Everybody else at home who's watching, paying attention. We appreciate y'all being with us.
Absolutely.
And I know there were high expectations for the Knights. but they're going to go to 3-2 after this week. The Florida Gators are going to defend home turf, unlike they were able to do in week 1 against Miami. Billy Napier staying on the up and up, going 3-2.
So all the boys are riding with the Gators.
We're all riding with the Gators.
All right. Well, our last Core 4 game, team that's coming off of a very surprising loss. Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels are traveling out to South Carolina to take on Beamer Ball and the absolute animal that is Dylan Stewart on the edge. Ole Miss currently sits at right under a double-digit favorite. What do we think early on? How do we think Ole Miss bounces back?
Well, whenever Lane Kiffin starts losing games, he makes sure that his players push the stats as far as they can. Lane Kiffin loses this game, Jackson Dart's going to go down with 700 yards. Give me Ole Miss convincingly. I think Shane Beamer is one of the worst head coaches in football. I do.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, I am
Shane taking straight.
I'm not going to mix words. Yeah, he's not fit to be an SEC head football coach. Give me Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss by 21 plus.
Okay.
You go ahead.
I'm rolling with you, not by that much. I'm rolling with you, though. I do think Ole Miss finds a way to win this game. I don't think it's going to be that much because I think South Carolina's front seven is legit. And after watching the way that Kentucky gave Ole Miss problems, I think that South Carolina will be able to do the same thing. I think Dylan Stewart's going to probably live in the backfield against Jackson Dart, but ultimately they'll make enough plays to win this game. I've heard Lenora Sellers is coming back, but I don't know how healthy he's going to be. I don't know what version of Lenora Sellers we're going to get.
He's dynamic when he's fully healthy.
He's dynamic when he's fully healthy. But if he's at about 75%, maybe 80%, I don't know if that's enough to overcome. With enough shots, Ole Miss is going to find a way to win this game.
Absolutely.
Give me the Rebels in a close game. Close game. Maybe they just might cover and win by 10.
Oh, okay.
Look, Kentucky's defense, I think what we know about them is they're pretty good. I mean, you saw it against Georgia.
Very veteran-laden.
They are very veteran-laden, and they're a good defensive football team. But I need to see a little bit more from this Ole Miss offense. We were talking about Jackson Dart as a potential Heisman candidate this year. And I need other guys like Trey Harris, Ulysses Bentley, and, of course, Caden Prieskorn to start stepping up and making better plays. And maybe that starts with Lane Kiffin scheming up some better things on the offensive side of the football. I know he's an offensive coach for Jackson Dart. Get the protection right up front and start throwing a couple of darts to these guys on the outside. Because if you don't get these guys involved, you're going to have upset games like you had last week against Kentucky. With that being said, I'm going to go with the Ole Miss Rebels to rebound and to beat Beamer Ball and Shane Beamer.
Clean sweep. So just to recap
not
for everybody.
Super exciting, not super controversial.
Don't feel super great about it, but
yeah, I mean,
you feel like they'll just.
No, I think they're going to win, but I'm saying like it's not super exciting that like we're all picking the same thing and there's not a lot of controversy. But
I'm going to switch mine.
Oh,
you're going to switch your pick.
I don't like a clean sweep, and I felt weird about one of my games.
Okay,
and this just confirmed it.
Okay,
UCF is going to beat Florida.
Oh, now we're going back to that game.
We're rolling with the Gus Bus.
I'm rolling with the Gus Bus.
All right, Chase will be happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
shout out.
I'm not going to let Chase by himself. I can't do it.
You're not going to leave him alone on the Gus
so
Bus?
So give me the Gus Bus, but I'm going to stick with my Ole Miss pick.
Okay, fair enough. So just to recap for everybody. So in the Tennessee-Arkansas game, we're all on Tennessee. That makes sense.
Yep.
Rolling into Missouri at Texas A&M, you guys are both on Texas A&M. I'm on Missouri.
This is correct.
The UCF and Florida game, Miggy recently changed his pick. You're now on UCF.
Yes.
Me and Greg are both on Florida. Correct?
Yes.
Correct? And then to finish out the last game of the Core 4, we are all on Ole Miss. No one has any belief in South Carolina.
I do not have any belief in South Carolina.
I got belief to keep it close, not to win the game.
Zero.
But that doesn't count. In the Core 4, you only pick winners.
That's right. Damn right. Winners only.
With that being said, boys, we have covered the Core 4. We've covered the college football slate. Touched on the Bucs and the Falcons a little bit before you got here, Greg. You guys want to touch a little bit on the NFL slate before we hop out of here?
Can I ask you just something quickly?
For sure.
I want to get y'all's take on it just quick. And I put it on the doc, and I want to just throw it out there quick. We don't need to spend a ton of time on it. But how do we feel about Gonzaga going to the Pac-12? Is it moving the needle at all? Is it exciting at all? I think it's a little exciting for basketball.
Personally, and I mean this is in the nicest way possible, I don't care. I mean, I just, like, they're going to be the Mountain West, but they're just going to be called the Pac-12.
Oh, bro, I fell asleep, bro. Fell asleep, Greg.
For me personally, but I'm coming from the realm of I'm not a huge basketball person.
Well, so what is the Pac-12 going to be? It was a P5 school. Is it still going to be considered P5, or are we P4 and Pac-12 is now a group of whatever school?
I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to move into P4. I mean, so if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It's probably a duck, and all those teams are ducks. So I mean, you can call yourselves the Pac-12, but you're not the Pac-12.
Y'all, can I step away for 2 seconds?
Yep, for sure.
All right, because there's a special guest. We're talking about my father.
Hey, Mr. Big.
Let's go.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
that man's ready for the weekend, repping the Vols.
Oh, he's ready. He's ready. Well, yeah, we can talk a little NFL. I was just curious, like, if it made any movement, like, because I think it's sort of interesting that they're finally going to maybe like a little bit of a bigger conference.
Yeah,
kind of. But again, yeah, what is the Pac-12 at this point?
I mean, for me, in terms of conferences, that really only I feel like matters in terms of like big conference status in football. Because in basketball, I feel like a lot of the times you see these quote unquote smaller conferences compete just the same way.
Yeah.
So to say one thing in basketball, it moves the needle. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, they're going to be the Pac West. They're just going to be a combination of the two. So for anybody that's wondering, poor Greg here, the Brewers just hit a solo home run. It's just one run. So they got time to recover.
2 innings.
But that's why the boys a little stressed here.
Tough.
So
it's going to be tough.
Going to be tough. Well, let's do a quick NFL look ahead, and then we'll get out of here. How are we feeling about the slate this weekend? Any matchups you got your eyes on? Anything you want to pay special attention to as far as the NFL goes coming up this weekend?
I'd say I'm literally looking at a few matchups specifically, but overall, I want to see how.
I really want to see how the Bills respond after that ass kicking against the Ravens.
I was going to say that, but really,
then the Texans, they took an L recently too against the Vikings. Darnell Mooney, no Kyle Pitts.
Wow.
One leg away, baby.
One leg away. Parlays.
Boys are hyped right now.
I don't know. The Algier one's a bit of a stretch.
Oh, Algier's going to get in.
You think so?
Yeah.
I need Bucky Irving to score one. But anyways, so as far as looking ahead to the NFL, I'm really excited for this Monday Night Football game between the Saints and the Chiefs.
Interesting.
I think that's going to be an incredible matchup. I really want to see what the Chiefs do without Rashee Rice, and I'm looking for the Saints to get right after taking an L to they're definitely their biggest rival.
Well, I think the Chiefs they're 4-0, but they're hurt 4-0.
They are.
And they're not good. Yeah. So to me, when I look at the Saints defensively, they play amazing football. I don't know. I'm leaning towards the Chiefs. I think
really
Pat Mahomes has not been the same quarterback last season-ish, and he's missing that big play guy.
Yep.
And we will see.
I think a lot of people were expecting that to be Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
But I don't think a lot of people have confidence in Xavier Worthy's ability to do that with Rashee Rice out.
Yeah.
Because I think Rashee Rice needs to be your go-to guy, your underneath guy, your occasionally like make a play on the outside guy. Yeah. And then Xavier Worthy's they're looking at Rashee, he's our over-the-top guy.
Yeah.
But now it's all on Xavier Worthy. So does Travis Kelce step up to help fill that void? Isaiah Pacheco's still out for a few weeks.
Steele has been for a while. Bad as well.
That's why Kareem Hunt's there.
Yeah.
And he had a decent week last week. But
and Samaje Perine.
Hey, Juju's there. Juju won that beat. You know what I'm talking about? It's been a while for Juju. I don't have any faith in him. Sky Moore,
awful.
Can we talk about how underwhelming the Chiefs' drafts have been?
Oh my goodness!
Like their defense has honestly carried them. for a while now.
And Patrick Mahomes just making something out of nothing with who he has.
Yeah, that's true. I think the defense has allowed him to be able to do that.
For sure.
I think it's more about the defense. I don't think Spags gets enough love or enough flowers for what he's able to do. And that defense is really going to have to carry them because this might be the worst offensive group that the Chiefs have had. Obviously, now with Rashee Rice down and Pacheco's gone and Travis 35, he's going to have to step up.
Yeah.
It's going to be a low-scoring affair, I feel like, in Arrowhead this weekend.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be low because the Saints have a good defense as well. It's going to be a defensive struggle in that game, to be honest with you. Both defenses are good, and they'll find a way to keep this under 25 points.
Neutralize both teams under 25.
Yeah.
Think?
All right. Well, boys, closing thoughts. Any final games you want to touch on before we head out of here and we finish watching this beautiful Thursday night game?
There's not a ton of great matchups this week. Another one that kind of intrigues me is Sunday night between the Cowboys and the Steelers. The Steelers just took their first L of the year. But Justin Fields is starting to play pretty damn good football. And against the Cowboys, I think he's still got a good shot to continue to do that.
Oh, yeah?
The way that they're utilizing him. Cowboys very underwhelming. I'm not super thrilled about.
You're not sold on the Cowboys?
No, not at all, man. But look, maybe this is what the Cowboys need. In the regular season, they've been able to run away with things in recent memory.
Yep.
Maybe they need to kind of struggle a little bit, barely get in, and maybe that'll turn their playoff fortunes around because whenever they go in as favorites, they always shrivel up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It'll
With
do
expectations.
Do them some good to get battle tested.
It's such a lively night tonight, man.
It is. I love
Mike's
that.
hole in the wall.
Shout
Love
out.
it. Gotta have it.
Come on down.
Matchup I'm looking forward to. Love what you just picked, obviously, with the Cowboys and the Steelers. 49ers and the Cardinals. I think it's going to be a very low-key, sneaky good matchup.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think Marvin Harrison, I've used this saying, I was talking to a good friend earlier. A Chrysler 300 looks like a Phantom until a Phantom pulls up.
Yep.
AKA a Maserati. Marvin Harrison is so good, and Malik Neighbors is not touching him on his best day. I'm sorry. I cannot wait to see this. It's going to be a great matchup.
Well, I want to ask this specifically to you, Mig.
Yeah.
You are 1-7, and people, if they don't know why I call you 1-7, is it because you're Devontae Adams to my Aaron Rodgers?
I mean,
and Devontae Adams has recently asked the Las Vegas Raiders for a trade.
Do you blame him?
No. Like you could say, if you watch the show Receiver, you could tell he's clearly not happy in Las Vegas. And I'm kind of looking at things through a bigger scope, and I'm wondering, looking back at what Devontae did and his decision to leave Green Bay. I know the money was better in Las Vegas and things like that, but his decision to not want to be in Green Bay. It feels like what could be a potentially huge miss for his career and wanting to potentially compete for a Super Bowl at his peak. Like be the one of ones for a Super Bowl team potentially at his peak.
I think his peak is still here, though.
I don't.
I think it's – I mean, he's still the same guy. I think quarterback play really goes a long way. And I will say that
It does.
He needs to find his way to a team with a good quarterback situation. And that is not in New Orleans or New York.
I was going to say, does that include the New York Jets with his boy Rodgers or in New Orleans with his boy Derek Carr? I agree with you. It's not with Derek Carr. We've seen that happen in Las Vegas.
It's not good.
It's not good. Another Mike Evans. Yeah, it's not good. New York, to me, would make a little bit more sense, but that's like a, short burst. Let me just try to win a Super Bowl. A-Rod, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, try to make it happen. But where's your favorite fit then? If it's not New York or it's not New Orleans?
I think he needs to go somewhere where there's already a clearly established one and really stack the deck. If I had to go with a team right now, I'll give you two options. First is going to be Dallas. I think Dallas, him and CD together, they need something. They are not looking good. And there's a lot of two wide receiver sets we talked about at Shady's. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. We can keep going. They need a tandem. Or you make that happen in Pittsburgh with the Steelers, and you do that. And my last one, the Commanders. you're all in on Jaden Daniels. Go put him and Scary Terry together. Let's see what happens then.
Boys, those all sound great. There's one place you cannot let this man end up.
Where is that?
That's in Kansas City. You cannot give this man to Patrick Mahomes. You cannot give this man to Andy Reid. You cannot. If you are the rest of the league, this is a PSA. Do not let that man end up in Kansas City.
See, I don't think they would trade in division. I don't think the Raiders would be like, hey, we're going to help out the Chiefs.
Probably not.
See, like that to me wouldn't happen. Another spot, did you want to comment on that?
No, because I think that they would rather literally die than do that.
They'd keep him and let him just sit on the sideline.
It's the Raiders. It's Mark Davis.
Divisional
He's
opponent.
not doing it.
All right, where he needs to end up is Buffalo.
Oh, my God.
That's a great
Put
fit,
him with
G.
Josh Allen.
That's a great fit, G.
Losing Stephon Diggs. Put him with young Keon Coleman. Show him the ropes a little bit. We like Khalil Shakir, the running game. Josh Allen. Look, I'd rather I'm in New York with reuniting with Aaron Rodgers, my boy, but it would be dangerous in Buffalo.
Do you think that makes the Bills better than they were with Stephon Diggs?
I love me some Stephon Diggs, though. I'm biased. I love Stephon Diggs as a receiver.
I think Diggs is great, man. I do.
Yeah.
Both of them are really good. They both do different things. Like, Stephon will take the top off of a defense. Devontae's just going to cut you up.
Yeah.
And Devontae's not as crazy as Stephon Diggs is.
Yeah.
Like, I think he is going to demand the football, but not in the same way that Stephon Diggs would, like, in terms of, I don't know, just kind of being crazy about it.
Kind of like an aura thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I'm Devontae Adams, man. Like, I don't have to say it, you know.
Yeah. But he's gotten more vocal. Like, I watched receiver, and he's gotten more vocal.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much he really respected Jimmy Garoppolo or Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
He'll respect Josh Allen a little bit more.
Listen to that list, though, man.
I know, it's
Aiden
bad.
O'Connell.
That's awful, bro. That's awful.
Yes, I understand.
That's rough, man.
But
That's cheeks.
That's like quarterback purgatory.
Yeah.
That's just bad.
Another team that I could see him going to sneakily, I don't know why, LA Rams.
The Rams?
Yeah. I think they would trade like Cooper Kupp and just wait on Nakua.
And just wait on Puka Nakua?
Yeah.
Man, that actually seems like
Who wouldn't do that deal?
that seems like a good trade. The Raiders would take that to get Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Stafford
very,
with Devontae
very,
Adams.
very injury prone. I don't know if I would take Cooper Kupp. I'd rather draft picks, which I don't know how much the Rams have in draft picks.
Here's my last kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Because I know we're on time. Devontae Adams to the Cleveland Browns.
for Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper and Jameis Winston.
Well, Amari was already in Las Vegas, wasn't
he got drafted there.
Yep.
You get him back, and you also get Jameis Winston, and you try and compete.
I don't know if Cleveland does that.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
Adams.
I mean, I could see him trying to maybe trade Jerry Jeudy, and
We love Jerry Jeudy over here.
and like a second or first round pick. I don't know.
Yeah, they said they're going to be looking for a second-round pick for Devontae.
So Jerry Jeudy, Jameis Winston's, and a second round pick for Devontae,
Well, if you're giving them players, you might not have to give them a second-round pick.
depending on the player.
Yeah.
Or this Atlanta Falcons team, you can have Kyle Pitts in the second rounder right now.
There you go. I think, see, that makes sense.
You can have Kyle Pitts in the second rounder
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
But the biggest issue is
No, I
Brock
mean,
Bowers is there.
They have Brock Bowers. They have Michael Mayer. Like, they don't need
They're
another
tight
tight end.
end purgatory.
Heavy.
I mean, I need to see Kyle Pitts on the same team as Brock Bowers just so everybody will know that Brock is better. I'm just kidding.
No, you're right. And it pisses me off. Like, it was supposed to be good.
He is. But I don't know. We'll see. Either way, watching this Devontae Adams and where he ends up is going to be very interesting. With that being said, any closing thoughts on the NFL, the college football weekend before we hop out of here, boys?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The Tennessee Titans need to make Mason Rudolph their starting quarterback.
Okay.
100%.
I agree with that.
He does not. I mean, you saw last week, he didn't turn the football over.
Yep.
They had a very weird stat line. Like, nobody killed it, but they had 31 points. I know they scored a little bit late there, but they need somebody who's not going to turn the football over. They have a good enough defense that they can stop opposing offenses. They just need somebody to keep them in the football game. So I am imploring the Tennessee Titans. I don't give a damn if Will Levis has more upside. Mason Rudolph is a veteran quarterback with more football sense and more football smart. He'll protect the football, thus you'll win more games.
very much like how Pittsburgh has to play football right now.
Yeah.
Just keep offense, just keep us in it. The defense will do what they need to do.
Yeah, run the football. But it's a little different because Justin Fields is much more dynamic.
Yeah, of course.
Than a Mason Rudolph or a Will Levis.
Yeah.
But just don't play stupid.
Just don't unnecessarily turn the ball over.
Yeah, like I know Mason Rudolph is a little bit more athletic. Obviously, he's younger than Ryan Tannehill. But if Ryan Tannehill wasn't turning the football over, you saw the best years of the Tennessee Titans was when he wasn't turning the football over and he was making good decisions and they could actually protect him. Like that's what they need.
Yep. I agree. 100%.
My one leave you take is at the end of the day, Sam Darnold is your MVP.
That's a Miggy tape if I ever heard one.
I love it.
Is that not true?
He's playing like
I've ever heard in my life.
Sam Darnold is literally the MVP of the National Football League. He's played today.
He's comeback player of the year, not MVP.
Who is your MVP right now? Don't say Josh Allen. Josh Allen just got embarrassed on national TV, dog. Sam Darnold, his team is undefeated.
It's definitely not Sam Darnold.
He's played like it this far, but there's a lot of season left.
It's not
a lot
Sam
of season
Darnold.
left.
I said if it ends today,
I would have Jane Daniels over Sam Darnold.
I mean, I feel like he'd get offensive rookie of the year though before
Jane Daniels does it.
See, exactly. But that even then,
what'd you say?
I said Jane would get offensive rookie of the year,
just like Sam Darnold would get comeback player of the year.
Who is your your MVP then? It's not Sam Darnold.
Let me look through these teams.
Over there,
Let me look through these teams real quick.
Probably Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, right. I mean, shoot. It could be Josh. Got to be Josh Allen.
Josh Allen has a loss.
Don't matter. So
Josh Allen only put one touchdown.
We don't give it to the best, the team with the best record always.
I'm going to the person who's most impactful on the best team. That is Sam Darnold up to this point.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy that you still believe that the Vikings are the best team in the NFL right now.
Undefeated until they prove me otherwise. That Brian Flores system with that KOC offense, they look great, bro.
I would not say Sam Darnold. Like you said, a lot of season left. He's played good so far. Comeback player of the year, but MVP, he's got like you said, Joseph, he's got a long way to go.
I know why. Because they 28-0 your boys last Sunday. This is why. I'm sorry.
So I saw Sam Darnold turn the football over a couple of times in that game.
I'm sorry, bro.
To get us back in it.
I am sorry. I know.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. Even if they didn't play the Packers, I still wouldn't be like, "Hey, Sam Darnold's my MVP."
I respect it.
There's no way. There's no way. Sam Darnold's not the MVP. I'll give it to Derrick Henry before I would give it to Sam Darnold.
It's crazy nobody's mentioned a defensive player.
TJ Watt.
I was thinking, is anybody going to mention TJ Watt?
I love TJ Watt. I don't think that's a defensive player award. It never will be.
Fair enough.
Well, boys, what a show.
It's been a show, man.
What a
Everything
show, man.
from NFL to college football to Gonzaga joining the Pac-12 and watching poor Greg here sweat out the Mets.
Yeah, they hit back-to-back home runs.
I'm sorry having to go through that, brother.
Well, the Brewers had some late magic last night. Maybe the Mets can find some of this tonight.
Well, I wish the best for you.
Start.
I wish the best for you.
Greg's Mets are going to clinch. They're going to be fine. Greg's Mets are going to come through for him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Your dogs are going to get some get back. And my
Clearly, Miggy has never been not a Mets fan. He does not know how this script goes. They needed to win last night if they wanted to advance. Getting to today was way too risky. They just don't win games like this.
Yeah, Jackson Churio has been a great hitter. I mean, they have a lot of Willie Adames. I mean, it's a lot going on over there in Milwaukee. Rez Hoskins, I mean, he's phenomenal, man.
Well, boys,
it's been real.
It's been a hell of a show.
It's been fun. It's been real fun.
Shout out again to Mike's. We love you guys. Thank you for having us here. We'll definitely be back.
Yeah, for sure. We love Mike's, man. Appreciate y'all having us out. And if you have an establishment here in the city and you'd love for us to come out, definitely reach out to us on all social media platforms. We're happy to kind of arrange something. Of course, personally, I'm Malcolm Ayers, my man, Greg Larnard, 12 to my 17, and the producer, the guy who just makes it go. I'm talking about Joseph Gunther, man.
Talk about him hosting tonight. Like I was really proud of him. He was really running the show.
I was way out of my comfort zone with that, but I gave it a shot.
I appreciate it, man.
Well.
Your boy,
you were running it.
Was having a technical issue, so You crushed it, man.
You did.
Thanks, boy.
Great job, dog.
Thanks.
For all of us there at Chat It Up, Joseph, sign us off, man.
Make sure you follow on every platform. Share it with a friend. We love you. We will see you on Tuesday to recap everything that.
Are y'all going to do a Saturday
We will
show?
see you Saturday.
Saturday
We're doing
night?
Saturday night shows
for a
now.
nice little
we will
night.
see you live.
That's wedding night. I might have to hop in with y'all from like the wedding
We will.
in Omaha.
I will be
Maybe a little tipsy.
I will be a little tipsy that night as well for other reasons.
What
And I'll
a better
reveal
way
that
to
later.
recap a full day of college football
Oh.
than with a
we'll
little
be
bit of
ready.
drink in you.
Yeah.
So we'll see you Saturday night. Thank you guys again for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by the show. Make sure you like, follow on every platform at Chat It Up Sports, and we'll see you guys on Saturday.
Deuces.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Peace.